All right, so if you've been to a Party Pass lounge in the US, you probably either didn't have another choice, like there's no Centurion lounges, no Delta Sky Club, or those options were full and you had to go to Party Pass lounge. And they probably had cheese and maybe crackers and maybe some cold pizza. Now, recently I came back from a trip to Asia, and flying out of Taipei, I was able to go to the Party Pass slash Plaza Premium Lounge that is in that airport. And I wanted to share with you guys my experience because it was very positive, unlike the majority of Party Pass lounges in the US. I should caveat by saying that the beginning part is kind of a joke. There are some good Party Pass lounges in the US, of course, but I think generally speaking, it's not highly regarded and one of the better lounge options because there are kind of premium lounges in the US from the major credit card issuers, and people don't really consider Party Pass such a great thing because most of the travel rewards credit cards offer Party Pass. Now, to start off, I should probably just point out the things that set apart this Taipei Plaza Premium Lounge. Okay, so we got there probably in the middle of the day. There was no wait to get in. There's plenty of seating. It was very clean. And the biggest thing is that they had like a la carte food ordering. So you can, instead of just having a hot bar, like food sitting in a hot lamp, you can actually order food, which sometimes you can on the app with Party Pass and other stuff. But I'm talking about like, it's not just some cold burger or fries. Like, it was actual Taiwanese dishes that are served, nicely and relatively good presentation, and I would say tasted pretty good. Just in general, there wasn't any food that just looked sad, like it had been sitting there for a long time, and they were foods that you would otherwise get at either restaurants in Taiwan or just like generally Taiwanese food. I think that makes sense because it's a Taiwanese airport, it's in Taipei, but I think that oftentimes in the US, again to contrast, I've experienced that at Party Pass lounges, there just isn't a lot of attention to detail or any effort really, and it's kind of a mess, or there's just really, again, like a salad bar and that's it. So the biggest thing is that it was readily available, there's no wait, and that it was clean and had food that you order from a menu. I think that is pretty incredible for a Priority Pass lounge. Well, that's considered Plaza Premium. That's what this one was branded as. Now, on this trip, we also had the opportunity to go to some other lounges because there were a few stops on the way to Korea, and then coming back from Taiwan, we stopped in Seattle as well. Our first stop on the way to Korea for this Asia trip for 2 weeks was actually at a Centurion lounge at LAX. So I really wanted us to fly on Korean Air, which was a SkyTeam branded flight. But originally it was going to be on Delta, and I wanted to just have the Korean Air experience because for those of you that know, flying Korean Air is much more pleasant than generally Delta, like generally speaking. Okay, this is I'm not throwing a shade here. I just think that flying Korean Air is a good experience, especially if you are going to Korea. I've made many videos about the Centurion Lounge before, or at least a few major ones, but now that this is kind of an updated view of it, I would say that it is very crowded and still holds like one of the top few places as one of the most crowded lounges that are out there, especially the LAX one. It's kind of like in the lower level of the lounge kind of area in the Tom Bradley International Terminal, and there's a lot of lounge options, granted, but I paid the $60, $50, whatever it is, to get Lauren into the lounge because there's no guest access anymore, which you would think would reduce the amount of people in there in general, but apparently that's not the case. There's still a lot of card holders and people that have access. So, of course, the food is very good. I mean, it is a premium product, and I think, the food, whether it's breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever, is some of the best lounge food that I've had, just in terms of the actual dishes that they have on the hot bar. But one, you cannot order off a menu. It wasn't like the Taipei lounge. And two, it's just so crowded. Like it's very difficult to find a seat in the lounge itself. And when we were leaving, actually, to go to our flight, there was already a line. Like, you had to wait on the app, like there's a wait list by that point to get into the lounge. So from when we got there into when we left, it was pretty much at capacity. And I think that just sums it up for the majority of what used to be like kind of premium lounges in the US, whether it's, the Amex lounge, Centurion, or even the Chase Sapphire, and some of the venture lounges or Capital One lounges I found can be pretty busy at times as well. So coming on the way back from Taiwan to the US, we had a layover in Seattle, and so we had the opportunity to go to yet another lounge in the US, that being a Delta Sky Club, because we were flying Delta main cabin all the way back. And so I would say that Delta Sky Clubs have always been a pretty good experience for me. I think that It's not as hyped up as like a Amex Centurion lounge that's this premium product, but I think they are very nice, especially the ones at the major hubs, which that's where they have skyclubs. Like for example, the one in Seattle, I remember years ago they literally had Ivar's clam chowder, which is like a classic like Pacific Northwest thing, and they had it in the lounge, which was pretty cool. This time coming back at the Sky Club in Seattle, it was like around early morning, so it was like breakfast foods, which I think generally speaking, breakfast foods are usually my favorite at any lounges in the US because it's kind of hard to mess up. Like you have eggs, pancakes, maybe waffles, like bacon, sausage, some bagels, stuff like that, fresh fruit. But as much as it was like a good experience for the most part, it also did become pretty crowded by the time we had to leave for our flight back to San Diego from Seattle. So like during our layover time, when we got there, it was just pretty early, I think, so not many people were there. But again, like maybe just US lounges are very crowded because people know about them, and then everybody has a credit card that has access to Priority Pass or Delta or whatever. And so not quite as crowded as the Centurion Lounge or the waitlist kind of thing, but it was getting up there. So the last part of this video, I should probably explain how to actually get into this specific Plaza Premium Lounge in Taipei, as well as any other Plaza Premium or Priority Pass products, because I think there's a little bit of confusion with all the changes they've made in the last few years, and they'll probably change it again. I think all these lounge videos are always just like a snapshot in time of what it is, because they can change the status and like the rules to entry and all this stuff. But as of the making of this video, I currently have the Venture X, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and the Amex Platinum. So all three of those products offer Priority Pass, just the standard like premium Priority Pass that gives you like 1,300 lounges or whatever the case. None of them, at least as of making this video, include the restaurant access anymore. So the Chase Sapphire Reserve used to have that, but now it's only like the City Premier, US Bank Altitude Reserve, cards that I don't really talk about on this channel, but also frankly because I think it's a very infrequently used benefit to use the restaurant like Priority Pass benefit. Now, of the three, Amex has direct partnership with Plaza Premium. And so with that, that's how I got access to Plaza Premium Lounge in Taipei. I should caveat though that the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Venture X also give you access to this particular Taipei Plaza Premium Lounge because it is listed as one of the lounges that you can get into for Plaza Premium with Priority Pass. So I know that's a little bit confusing. It's like a rectangle is a square, but a square is not a rectangle. But essentially, there are certain Plaza Premium lounges that are listed on Priority Pass that you'd have to go through the list to see at what airports they give you access for. But essentially, if you think about it like in a tiered list, the Amex Platinum is the highest tier because it gives you, not only does it give you Priority Pass, but it also has Centurion lounges. It also gives you access to Delta Sky Club lounges. And also gives you access to the global lounge collection of Amex lounges that includes Plaza Premium in addition to the rest of the list. The Capital One and Chase products, they give you access to Priority Pass and their native lounge products, which I think year over year these companies are trying to come up with more efficient or better lounge solutions because people seem to use these benefits. But of course the Capital One lounges are accessible to Capital One card holders, and the Chase lounges are accessible to Chase card holders. I don't think I've made a video about like the best lounge card, but there's not really much to say because the best one is definitely the Amex Platinum. But in this specific instance, all three of those cards can get you into the Taipei Lounge, the Taipei Plaza Premium rather. But again, in my experience, going there in the middle of the day, no wait to get in, food off of a menu, clean, calm, and actually useful to use before getting on a flight. I think that's the type of lounge experience that you're looking for out of something like Priority Pass that you would have with any credit card. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. There are certainly probably things that I've missed or other experiences with other lounges in Asia, but this is just the one Plaza Premium that I went to, and just the comparison between the Centurion Lounge that again we went to in LAX, as well as the Sky Club in Seattle. And this is definitely not the last time I'm going to be using the lounge benefit, because I think, again, that is a pretty good way to offset your annual fee by capitalizing on that, getting some good food, and a place to be peaceful before a flight, if it's hopefully not too crowded. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.